Hello everyone and welcome back to the Movement Lesson Sports Academy. In this video we're going to continue to look at the role that a pelvic strike has in effective sports performance. Now at the time of this match, which is the Vitality Blast 2020 cricket final in England, I tweeted about Jason Roy and his pelvic strike. Now Jason Roy top scored in this match for Surrey, who went on to get beaten by the Outlaws. However, there were some flaws that were picked up in Jason Roy's technique on the day. Jason Roy is a phenomenal batsman. He's been an integral part of the success that England cricket teams have had in the short format of the game. However, in the longer format, over 5-day cricket, he's been heavily criticised for his defence and has been dropped from the England side following the Ashes in the summer of 2019. Some of the clips that we're going to show you might explain some of those issues with his batting defence in the longer format of the game, and I've broken down the clips here to actually look at three of the effective outcomes, or three shots that Roy plays that end up with effective results. We're going to look at some that end up with effective results but show the glitch in his technique, and some of the poor shots that really emphasise the issues he has with his pelvic strike. At the same time, Laurie Evans was down the other end. He played superbly throughout the match as well. He didn't hit as high a score as Jason Roy, but he actually had a higher strike rate, which basically means that if both players were to face 100 balls, Laurie Evans would actually score a much higher, score a lot more runs than Jason Roy. Let's get into the footage. First video we're going to see Jason Roy is going to face the bowling of Samit Patel. As the ball comes through, it's a great strike to the boundary. The ball flies off the bat and it's all arm strength. As you can see, it's the eyes and the arm strength that allows him to get hold of the ball and muscle it out to the boundary. But actually his pelvis is falling away and starting to collapse already towards the leg side. The second delivery is a near identical shot. This one actually gets hold and hits Samit Patel, the bowler, who you can see by the amount of pain that Patel's in, the speed that the ball was travelling at. Again, Jason Roy got hold of it, met the ball, big arm strength, but actually starts to fall away towards the leg side. As you see there, he's just starting great arm strength, good rotation and whip through to get a lot of power on the shot, but his pelvis is starting to fall away on the leg side. Jason Roy coming to meet another spin bowler. He picks up the delivery very quickly, the length of the delivery. There's a good rotation here, gets forward to meet the ball, and again you see the arm strength as the ball flies away to the boundary. We're going to have a look at slow motion here again now, and again there's not a great deal of connection between the hips and the arms as they come through, and there's a little bit off balance, you can see. If we just rewind that slightly, if you actually watch the slow motion again, Jason Roy's back legs, he starts to fall away. He is off balance as he loses his footing. The next clip you see, watch his back leg and he starts to fall away and he's a little bit off balance. Again, his pelvis. And here we've got the last shot from Jason Roy. This one is the biggest shot that we're going to look at from Roy's perspective. He's going to hit the ball off Dan Christian's bowling. Good experienced bowler again. Picks up the length very quickly and absolutely smashes it to the boundary. You see all arm strength from Jason Roy. Just look at that one more time. It's a good example here really of the eyes and arm strength of Jason Roy. There's some slight rotation in the hips, but not a great deal through the spine. And again, a little bit off balance through his follow through. Next few clips we're going to look at, you're going to really see Jason Roy using his arm strength, using his eyes. He's going to have some good outcomes off the back of these shots, but you're going to see quite clearly the glitches in his technique, the lack of pelvic strike, which we've already beginning to highlight in the previous few clips, but we're really seeing how he can be relying on his arm strength and his vision. First up, this shot's going to go to the boundary. Again, very good end product, but you can see quite clearly his pelvis starting to fall away, his backside falling away on the leg side, and he's really having to reach forward, using his arm strength, using his eyes to make contact with the ball. Quite clear there, falling away, off balance, and you having to rely on arm strength and eyes to reach forward, make contact with the ball. This shot again coming up now. Not quite as evidence with falling away, but you notice it's a lack of pelvic strike. Ball again is going to make its way to the boundary, and again big arm strength from Roy. Notice as you see the clip played again, slow motion, again his backside just starting to fall away, big gap between bat and legs. A lot of arms, limited pelvic strike, a lot of arm reliance, and the backside falling again away towards the leg side, a little bit off balance. That's another strike here from Jason Roy. Hit the ball out towards the boundary. The commentator in this NAS was saying, actually states that this is good batting due to Roy's ability to clear his front leg and play the shot out on the offside. But you can actually see quite clearly here how as his pelvis is collapsing, he's fallen away from the ball, he's off balance with that first movement out, and his first movement again is away towards the leg side boundary because he's fallen away from the ball. Let me just have another look at this again. I had to get away with it in the shorter format of the game, but again it's an opportunity for bowlers to be able to exploit the gap. Falling away, his first step, because he's off balance, has to be towards his leg side. You can see that quite clearly. Again, relying on his hands, relying on his vision. There you go, falling away, off balance, falling towards the leg side, almost ends up running out of the crease. And when it's the last few clips we've looked at, shown glitches that have still ended up with a good outcome. The next few you're going to see poor shots, no real strong outcome from the shots from Jason Roy. This one, there's a clear, if we watch this again, there's a clear glitch in his technique as he makes contact with the ball. It's almost like the shot actually stops halfway through. There we go, lost control. There's a flick of the head which just helps exemplify the fact that he's fallen away. That coming up here again, Jason Roy falling away, similar to what we were saying before off Matt Carter's bowling. He starts to fall away to the leg side, he loses balance, but in that instance he actually lost contact with his eyes on the ball, which is why he had a bit of an airstrike. Rewind it back, have another look through that. Ball comes in, you just watch him and his backside will start to fall away. If you watch here and the movement that this backside starts to make towards the leg side, he almost falls off the wicket completely. loses eye contact, ends up having a big air strike or air shot. We're now going to get to the end of Jason Roy's innings. Remember, he top scored in this game, even though there's clear glitches all the way through. He's managed to score runs off at times poor technique, just emphasising how much arm strength he has, how good his vision is. But you see here, no pelvic strike at all. His backside's collapsed. Jake Ball's followed him as he's moved around the leg side to try and open up the leg side. He's fallen across the crease. His legs are planted. He doesn't have the ability to move them because there's a lack of pelvic strike. He's trapped in his crease. See it quite clearly there. No leg movement, no pelvic strike. And he can't get the bat round quick enough. And he looks very, very heaven-footed. No integration between the lower half and top half of his body. That pelvic strike really, or lack of pelvic strike, really evident with that shot. At the other end, being a key contributor to this game was Laurie Evans. Laurie Evans, and it was actually picked up in commentary, that he's not had much success in the longer format of the game and has had to move around a lot in the shorter format, but is actually a very, very effective player with the short form of the game. Look at this shot here. He's actually come down to the pitch. I mean, the ball, his pelvic strike so prominent, even though the flight of the ball's beat him,